Every day, more than 200 million Indians ride a two-wheeler. Yet, for many, the simplest safety accessory, the helmet, remains optional. In the next few minutes, let's explore how that's changing and why the humble head guard is set to become a 30,000 crore business. Hello everyone. Today we are diving into the 20,000 crore Indian helmet industry, why it's growing, who are the major players, and what the helmet industry of 2030 will look like. Let's get started. First, let's look at the global market. Around the world, the two-wheeler helmet market is showing a stable growth. Nearly 66 million helmets sold in 2024, worth over $1.7 billion. And guess what region leads the pack? Asia Pacific. That's right. Countries like India and China drive about half of global sales. And do you know the world's largest company is Studs, which sold more than 10% of all the helmets sold worldwide in FY24. Back in 2019, India bought about 21 million helmets. 5 years later, that number stands near 26 million, and analysts project 35 million by 2029. In value terms, we have moved from roughly 13.5 thousand crore rupees to 20,000 crores in 2024, and we are heading towards 31,000 plus crores in just 4 more years. If you look inside that 20,000 crore pie, full face helmets own the thickest slice. Open face and half helmets still move serious volume, but newer niches, modular, dual sport, off road are inching up. Premium lids, think fancy graphics, composites, Bluetooth, make up just 7 to 8% of sales today. Yet, analysts see them touching double digits by FY29. Even then, India will average just zero point 0.6 helmets per rider. Global riders keep about 1.5 helmets each. That gap means sustained demand, especially as two-wheeler ownership climbs. Alright, we know the Indian helmet market is booming, but who's leading the pack? Let's check out the numbers from some of the biggest names for FY23. First up, Studs Accessories Limited. They clocked in with a total income of about 506 crore rupees. As we discussed earlier, they are not only India's largest, but the largest helmet seller in the world. Next, we have got Vega Auto Accessories Private Limited. They went far behind, pulling it around 492 crore rupees. Talk about neck and neck competition. Sealbird High-Tech India Limited reported a total income of about 166 crore rupees. Not bad at all. They have carved out a solid space for themselves. So there you have it, a quick snapshot of the big players driving India's helmet market forward. These organized players have a strong edge. They are capable of bearing R&D costs, certifications, coming up with new designs, etc. Smaller, unorganized players don't have the resources to match up the industry giants. So the industry is likely to see consolidation in future. First, fines have risen. Under the amended Motor Vehicles Act, riding without a certified helmet can cost up to 2,000 rupees, and states are taking notice. Then there's rising safety awareness. Thanks to government campaigns, efforts by non-profits, and even just hearing about it from friends on the news, more riders truly understand that a good helmet can be a lifesaver. Third, the Bureau of Indian Standards now mandates ISI marked helmets for riders and pillions alike. Non-certified stock is steadily disappearing from formal retail. Design matters. Urban riders increasingly treat the helmet as an accessory. Matching paint, reflective graphics, and built-in tech are shifting choices away from the cheapest option. The boom in leisure riding is another factor. Weekend trips, long distance tours, these kind of rides often mean investing in higher quality, more comfortable helmets designed for extended use. Integrated Bluetooth, heads up navigation, even action camera mounts, Features once reserved for luxury models now trickle towards mainstream prices. Online sales grew sharply before the pandemic. Direct to consumer platforms from major brands help fight counterfeits and widen rural reach. Premium helmets, currently under 10% of revenue, are forecast to double that share by decade end, driven by leisure touring and high displacement bikes. Care Ratings project Indian helmet volume to reach around 35 million units by 2029. Average selling price should rise 3 to 4% a year as regulations and tech features lift the base spec. Brands that maintain multi standard certification, invest in smart integrations, and strengthen their direct channels will likely claim the greatest share of that growth. Now, it's not all completely smooth sailing for the helmet industry. There are definitely a few bumps in the road and challenges to navigate. One key challenge is low awareness about helmet quality in some areas. Particularly in rural region, there can be a gap in understanding why a certified good quality helmet is so much better than a basic uncertified one. Sometimes helmets are even seen as unnecessary for short, low speed trips. The market also has to deal with counterfeit and substandard products. You have probably seen them. Really cheap helmets that look the part but offer very little real protection. Those fakes not only put riders at risk but also create unfair competition for legitimate brands. And that ties into price sensitivity. For many buyers, especially in lower income segments, price is still the biggest deciding factor. This can lead them to opt for the cheapest option, even if it compromises on safety standards. Finally, like many manufacturing industries, helmet markets can be hit by fluctuating raw material cost. The price of things like plastic and foams can go up and down, impacting production costs and potentially the final price for consumers. As we can see from the chart, ABS and packing material together contribute more than 30% of the total cost. Polycarbonate and paint also form a significant chunk of the cost. So there you have it. The two-wheeler helmet industry is a dynamic space, constantly evolving. It's driven by the critical need for safety, but also by exciting innovations and the demand of growing markets, especially here in India. As more of us embrace safer riding practices and look for better, more reliable gear, this industry is geared up to play an even bigger role in protecting lives on our roads. Thanks for joining us on this ride.